السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. بعد، ثبت في الحديث: لو يعطى الناس بدعواهم لادعى رجال أموال قوم ودماءهم، ولكن البينة على المدعي واليمين على ما أنكر. For the purpose of living harmoniously together, because the world is home of each and every one of us, and unless we live together harmoniously with a clear rule to be followed, then we would have lived the way the world of the animals outside there in Masai Mara, for example, the way they live. So our life is regulated to transgress on the right of the other is clearly prohibited. But we are human beings. Once in a while, we may transgress on the right of each other. If that happens, then how do we mitigate? How do we deal with that? It's for that purpose mainly, authorities of human nature ourselves is put in place so that it abides us in the event that dispute arise. The Holy Quran is full of episodes of incidences where dhulma occur. For example, Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman. Allah tells us how they arbitrated our cases. وَدَاوُودَ وَسُلَيْمَانَ إِذْ نَفَشَتْ غَنَمُ الْقَوْمِ إِذْ يَحْكُمَانِ فِي الْحَرْثِ إِذْ غَنَمُ الْقَوْمِ. So they made a decision on a farm which somebody grazes his herds. It happens. So huquq are so many. Those huquq are protected. What do we do? Now Rasulullah says, لو يعطى الناس, if people, these people now, mainly they are weak people, weak in their iman, weak in their taqwa, they can, because of the worldly things, they can do anything. Among us, there are people who are so petty they can do anything. So if people would have been given whatever that they demand, they will come to you, you know, so and so, the sheikh here, namudai pesa kadha, or he did this and that to me. That is why the courts are all over. So if people would have been accorded whatever that they demand against the other, without putting in place any stringent measure to prove the claim, then some of the people would have demanded the blood of some of us and the property of some of us. And in life you see it. In life you see it very well. There are some people who are weak in Iman. They are just in worldly affairs. They are not aware of this accountability before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's their behavior. Such people might be even the people who pray at the first row of your masjid every other day. They are ahead of you. But that is how they do. Among us, there are people who are so litigious always. Lawyers know very well. They are so litigious. Today he has a case against this, tomorrow against the other day against the other. So litigious. But the lawyers enjoy because there's money. I can see one of the lawyers smiling here in class. That's how we are. We are so litigious. By the way, there are certain communities which are so litigious, you will see them. A small thing, they can't settle it. Now, there are some people who would now demand for the blood and the property of others. But Rasulullah sallallahu is murabbi, he says, وَلَكِنْ الْبَيِّنَةَ, the burden of proof is always on the shoulder of any claimant. You have to prove your case. How do I prove? There are many ways to prove. For example, you have a dispute of the land. How do you prove? Okay? There is a way you prove. There's an authority which is responsible of the documentations and the protections of any interest in land, isn't it? Yes. That is the way to go. You may dispute on the paternity of a child. How do you prove? It's difficult. Somebody can claim your own child. How do you go about it? You must know there must be qira'in, there must be firash in place, something like that. So, must be bayyina. Bayyina is not limited. But you are told you can easily lose your right if you don't put in place your bayyina or wasa'il or the modes of the protection of the properties or the rights. I said the other time, كنت قيما لليتيم. You are guardian of an orphan. You are a guardian of his property. And the day when you submitted that property, his property or a property of the yatim to him, you never put in place any bayyina that you have handed over that property to that yatim. There is no evidence. There is no writing. There are no witnesses. And then tomorrow, the yatim accuse you, asking you, I want my property. Yeah, but I gave to you. But I gave it to you. He will tell you, Hatu burhanakum. Hatu, give evidence that you gave me. He doesn't fear Allah. لَدَعَ رِجَالًا وَلَا قَوْمٍ. Maybe his uncle is doing very well. The property given to him, he finished it. So will be asked, the gentleman, we are aware that you are the guardian of this property and of this yatim. The court will tell him, please give evidence that you have surrendered this property to this yatim. No, it was only me and him. With a trust, I just gave the property because I trusted him. He was my son, after all. What will the court tell you? Whether Allah knows with entire meaning that this property you have given, but still the court will order you to give the property. And then you say, this court, he judge, who you judge is zalim. This judge is zalim. We don't care. the court will make its determination based on the evidence, empirical evidence given to it. Even the sheikhs that make such a mediation all the time, they do that on the basis of the evidence given, no otherwise. Hakuna mjamala. Ile ingine, Allah has in His own power to make even our part of our bodies to speak, to give evidence. وَتَشَدُّ أَرْجُلُهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. That is another level of judgment. But at our level, we look at empirical evidence. Simple as that. وَالْيَمِينَ عَلَى مَنْ أَنْكَرَ. You don't have a proof. You don't have proof. What will happen? The next step, the person who denied the claim over him or her will be asked to take oath, to deny, or to substantiate that really there is no right or a claim over me. So simply he just says, Wallahi, billahi, tallahi, this property that this gentleman claiming over me is my own property. Does it? Finish. Is this rule is an obvious rule that there is no istithna in it? There is no exceptional rule in it? Yes, there is exceptional. And you must first of all know who is the claimant. For example, the wife will ask for her dowry. When we gathered in one of the hotels of the masjid, the dowry was this much amount of money or this property. Everybody knows. The woman will tell even Kadhi, you were also present at that time. You are the only one who presided over the marriage. It was this much. Yes, the marriage certificate is showing that this is the mark of marriage. The marriage certificate is saying that it was never paid. It was never paid. The gentleman said, I paid and even more. I paid even more. Where did you pay? No, it was me and herself, and we trust each other with this love. Just in the bedroom, that's the way I gave the property. Just in the bedroom. It happens, by the way. It happens a lot. That time the graph of the love was too high, beyond 100%. And then all of a sudden, the life continues. There's a time when the graph of the love comes below zero. Below zero. The marital life now cannot work anymore. It happens. Sometimes the love will be for some of us, but it happens. Then what do you do? This woman, if she doesn't fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she will come and says, gentleman, I want my dowry. I want my dowry. Initially, when the marriage certificate was issued, it wasn't paid. It shows that not paid. What's the evidence? He said, no, look at the marriage certificate, Barakadi. It was never paid. The man will say, fear Allah, I gave you. Fear Allah will not work there in the court. If she doesn't fear, she will just claim. The court says, gentleman, proof. Because ordinarily, it's your duty to pay. You did not pay. I can't prove, my dear. Judge, I can't really prove. This woman doesn't fear Allah. That's what the complaint that it brings. So whether she fears or not Allah, he only when it's longer for me, I will just see that evidence and say, okay, you never pay. Even if you pay double before, now you will pay again. It's up to you. So we need to take care of the property. Ayah says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه. Look at this. فاكتبوه. One of the ways of protecting your properties or your rights is writing. So the agreements that you write, I owe this much, and that, the way the banks are doing, and others. Very important. We are living a very complicated life. So agreement must be written. Not just small note, just write it. Now some people say, let's now make an agreement. I'm the Imam of Masjid al-Rahmah and the Khatib, or I'm the Kadhi, who normally give you the lectures. You don't trust me? You don't trust me? No. It's not an issue of trust. If you pass down today, what will happen? if I pass on today, what will happen? There are a lot of things in it, isn't it? Data will get lost. So فَاكْتُبُوا فَلْيَكْتُبْ بَيْنَكُمْ كَاتِبٌ. And who will write is a person who is a professional in that field. That's where we go to lawyers to write for us the agreements. Katib, not any other person. Katib. بينكم بالعدل. And then with fairness and justice. The reason why is the fairness? The fairness that there's possibility one of the party who's into that bit of writings or documents might be illiterate, doesn't know. Or you write the jungle legal languages, you write, nobody even understand. It happens. If you read some of these Kadhi'S za banki, you can't even understand. Kwele maongo. Sini kweli? Ordinary language, English is not there. You don't understand. You read. What is this? You keep on repeating, write and reading. Difficult. That's why you need an expert to help you on this. And then وَاسْتَشْهِدُوا شَهِدَيْنِ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ. Put witnesses there. Witnesses. Credible witnesses. Islam says, credible witnesses. At least 2. This is just a form of the protection of, but in the event that the dispute occurs, that is how we deal with it. Gentleman, you are the claimant. Yes, give evidence. I don't have evidence. Okay. Now we turn to the defendant. Say, okay, what do you say? I'm ready to take an oath. So if the woman, for example, simple case, she's demanding for nafaqat, for example, nafaqat. But you say you have been given in cash every day. You put 1,000 shilling, maybe whatever. The way some men are doing. Unaweka tu pesa hapa tu kwenye, unaenda tu. All of a sudden, mambo imeharibika. Mama asema, he has never, in the last 3 years, this man has never provided for us. I do work myself. It's me who's providing for myself. Then the court will ask you, gentleman, can you prove this? No, he said, I've been given every day 1,000 shilling. But if you say that I've been saying in M-Pesa, or I send this amount of money into her account, it's something that's reasonable, you can prove, isn't it? But the cash that you give and leave, what will happen? If she doesn't fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's difficult to prove. Those are some of the things that we're facing. So we need to be very careful. Let us protect the huquq. In the event such thing happens, that is the way to deal with. What happened in the event that the person who's the defendant refused to take off? Our people are very difficult to take off. To take yamin is difficult for some people. You tell them, can you wear wapi, manashika Quran wapi? Ah, misuguzi, in hatari. This is danger. I will not. It's called nukul. What do I do? Will we return the oath again, yamin, to the claimant, to the plaintiff? What do we do? That's a debate among the scholars. Others said yes, others said no. The reason why we give yamin to the person who's a defendant, he said, al-aslu bara'atu dhimma. Al-aslu bara'atu dhimma. Persons are deemed to be innocent until proven guilty. All of us, bara'atu dhimma. I'm clean. If you claim this watch of mine, say this is my watch, no check. The watch that he has is mine. Okay? So I'm now being suspected of being a thief, isn't it? Now, until the claimant prove with an evidence, remember, I'm what? I'm innocent, isn't it? I'm innocent. That is why the yamin is helping me. Yamin always, the oath is there to support, to give more strength to the person whose case is stronger than the other. Sometimes, in a court or in a case, they are cross-claim. They call cross-petition. You are claiming for this against me, now also claim against you the other. So the case becomes more complicated. Now you are dealing with 2 cases in 1 case. Sinashida, it becomes difficult. And you are claiming this, I'm also claiming this. Sometimes it becomes in our cases, the woman filed a case and said that this man is a cruel. he does this, he does this, he does this. The man comes again, he says, no. Barakad, let me tell you, Wallah, she's the one who's cruel to me. She does this to me. Conversely, whatever she said, anachukua tu anaweka kwa upande wake. Asema, all this you're saying, she's the one who does to me. So who is cruel? Alimagia maji moto. Sawa, mara kadha. All those things. It becomes now a bit difficult. But the way to deal with is that hadith is an aslun min usul ad-din, ni muhimu sana, and very important bab al-qada. So each one of us who involved in this resolution need to read it very carefully, need to learn it, and it is shurah, a lot of shurah in it, so that we will be well equipped. Wa sallallahu ala nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.